In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Your discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Dragon King Mark here, and welcome to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. Last we left off, we completed the base game. We talked to everybody, and, well, now we're going to start on the actual the bonus campaign. The Shadows of Hong Kong. Set in the weeks following the events of the main campaign, Shadows of Hong Kong will give you, and your team, the opportunity to turn the tables of the corporate police force that once hunted you. Through layers of corporate greed and urban strife, you will contend with dangerous enemies and uncover a deadly conspiracy, and cement your reputation as a prime runner. Assuming that you survive, of course. Now, here's the thing. I streamed this last week, but for some reason, the video did not want to process. I do not know why. So, we're going to try again. Let's go for easy because I'm going to be on it. Hey viewer, is everything coming in? I'm going to go with easy because the game itself ramped up the difficulty and I do not want to struggle. One thing they did was grenades are now... you know how Duncan had that cyber arm you can give to him that can automatically chuck grenades? Everyone has that now. This is basically what we did. Let me... Yeah, okay. Because I don't know what happened last week. Because for some reason, it wasn't working. Like, it wouldn't process anything. It was like, I couldn't see the number. I think it may have glitched. Well, then again, there was also the fact that there was a router issue that I fixed, that I rebooted it last time. There was also another one this week, so I rebooted that. So, yeah. Basically, I just realized that this is basically the two different saves we did. So, let's just go with this one. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened last week, so I wanted to redo it again, but last week was when AJ was here and I wasn't able to actually stream it that well. Rude awakening. Something is wrong. The last thing that you remember, it was the night of the Kowloon City riots. You and your team were running an errand for Conley Cheng, recovering an object before the inevitable police response turned the city upside down. Everything was going well. You had the item in hand, and then... nothing. The world went black. A sudden explosion of pain behind your eyes jolts you back to the present. A nightmarish succession of dream images flicker through your consciousness like a strobe light. A man with a pockmarked face, slim fingers playing over the surface of your brain, leaving a slug's trail of agony in their wake. A second figure whose face you couldn't see, digging with relish through the scraps of memory that your tormentor left behind. It was a rough night, and now, as your eyes snap open and adjust to the light, you find yourself in a reality that is a little more comforting. A single bulb hangs from a corrugated steel roof. The dim light that it casts is barely enough to illuminate the table in front of you. Your head throbs in time with your heartbeat, and each pulse gives rise to a low, grinding, stomach-churning discomfort. A heavy weight on your wrist tells you that you've been handcuffed. Try to clear your head. You squeeze your eyes shut and count to 10. The pain in your head slowly dissipates, and your vision gradually swims back into focus. There's a rag on your lap, an old dishcloth, matted with congealed blood. The dull ache that radiates from the bridge of your nose up and into your sinuses tells you where it came from. Try to remember how we got here. Slowly, delicately, you begin to search your memories, picking at the soft spots in your consciousness like day-old scabs. You get another burst of tooth-grinding agony for your troubles. Eventually, the pain begins to subside and dim memories seep to the foray. You remember the distant reek of tear gas. You were on a job. An errand for Conley Cheng. She wanted you to retrieve something. A stone of some kind. You remember gunfire in the streets, the sound of distant screams, the dizzying blur of asphalt rushing towards your face as you fell, and then... nothing. A blank. Let's relax. You take a deep breath and slowly release it. The tension flows from your body along with it. It isn't easy letting go, but the pain in your head eventually dulls the background noise. You remain that way for a long time, sitting by yourself in the darkness. Finally, you hear a noise in the distance. The pop hiss of the pneumatic door unlatching and sliding open. An enormous figure steps into the room, and the door slides shut behind him. You can just barely make out the silhouette of the troll standing across the table from you. Your other senses work to fill in the blanks. He's got a heavy build. The floor creaks every time he shifts his weight. The rustle of fabric over hard, sharp keratin tells you that he has prominent dermal deposits. He's also wearing way too much cologne. From the chest up, the darkness swallows him. You can't see his face. Hello? The troll doesn't bother answering. Instead, he begins to neatly arrange a handful of items on the desk in front of him. A notepad, a mug of soy calf, an old ballpoint pen, and an audio recorder. When he's finished, he looks up from the objects and focuses on you. Good morning, Mr. Long. The words roll in his throat like rocks in a tumbler. How are you feeling today? Did you sleep well? How the hell do you know my name? We know a lot of things about you, Shen. One of the many benefits of magical interrogation. It cuts through the bullshit and gets you right to the facts. It gestures to the bloody rack in your lap. Sorry about the nosebleed, by the way. You had your people poke around on my head, didn't you? They did something to me while I was unconscious. Yeah, that's right. Our mage probed your mind while you slept. He lifts the mug out from the light toward his lips. You hear a long, loud slurp as he sucks the steaming fluid down. Don't know about the man myself, but I'm given to understand that he's good. Uses a light touch. You call this a light touch? Believe me, that nosebleed could have been a whole lot worse. We didn't have to put you on fluids, did we? He sets the mug down on the table. Murky liquid sloshes over the rim. He was even kind enough to give you a cloth to bleed into. You're only talking about one of your interrogators. Why not mention the other one? His brow furrows. Sorry, I was just answering a message. What other one? I don't know what you're talking about. Your pal with the skin condition didn't mess up my nose. It was the other one. The second mage. I couldn't see a face. He slurps. He shrugs. Might be a figment of your imagination. It happens sometimes. The brain invents details to try and make sense of what's happening to it. Give it a few days and the confusion should fade away. You'll see. I know what happened in my own head. We don't even have two mages on site, Shangshan. There's no way that you could have gotten scanned twice. He shrugs his broad shoulders. But hey, believe what you want. Don't let it distract you, though. We got work to do. Now, let's get to it, shall we? He shovels his papers, flips open the notebook on the table with the tip of his pen. Run me through what happened last night. Your mage already dredged through my memories. You know everything that I do. But what's the point of the mind probe if you're going to interrogate me anyway? Magic is great for pulling facts from a person's memory. It isn't so good at contextualizing them. What we got for you was a jumble of disorganized information. It'd take a lot of guesswork on our part to piece those facts together into a coherent narrative. You cooperate with us, tell us the story that as you remember it, and you could spare us some of that work. That'll be good for you in the long term. If you lie to me, though, well, just don't. I know it. I'll know it. Now, if you please. If I'm gonna talk, I want to know who I'm talking to. You got a name? Me? Sure. Call me Mr. Yang. Now, tell me what I want to hear, and this will be a pleasant encounter for both of us. I'll help you if you give me the name of the mage with the pockmarked face. Fair's fair, right? There's a long pause. The guy's name is Wallace Coe, but like I said, I've never met him in person. They only bring him on site when there's astral work that he's doing. If you were thinking of getting payback, you shouldn't get your hopes up. Now let's begin, shall we? He turns on the audio recorder with an audible click. We already know that your team went to combat Pangs, the biker bar. That your boss, Kami Cheng, sent you out there to conduct a shakedown of some kind. Combat Pang stole from the wrong person. He's lucky that Kylie didn't have him skinned alive. Yes, your boss has quite the reputation. Not the sort of person that a low-level gang leader should steal from. Speaking of which, he glances at the notebook on the table. Says here that you were after a J. Kong from the Liangzhu period. Dated back to 3000 BC or thereabouts. That's right. Pang stole it because he thought it was magical. Turns out it was just old. Our mage confirmed as much. Oh, we've got your boss's Kong locked up for safekeeping, by the way. It's in good hands with us. Now, we know that you didn't go to Pang's alone. One at a time, could you please list the other members of your team? Seriously? How can you not know that already? Just answer the question, please. He taps the recorder with the tip of his pen. For our records. Got it. She'd heard that Combat Pangs had really good bar food. Gobbet, the old girl with a rodent fixation. He jots down a note on his pad. Okay, who else? Duggan came along. The ex-cop. Nothing I hate more than a good guy gone bad. Another scribbled note. Alright, got it. Who was the last member of your team? Oh, come on, man, you already know this. Don't you have the others in holding somewhere? Just answer the question. Isabel, as if you didn't already know that. The dwarf. Right. Quiet little thing. The pen dances over the pad a final time, then stops. Your interrogator glances up at you. Alright. So Cheng sent the group of you to combat Pangs to recover a very old rock. And she sent you on the eve of one of the bloodiest riots in Kulong City's history. Funny timing, don't you think? Not at all. We used the riot for cover. With all the civil unrest in the streets, the cops are bound to be busy. And we are back in the game. The distant sounds of urban chaos rang in your ears as you led your team through the series of constrictive back alleys. It was hot out, sweltering, and the humidity left your body drenched. A bad night for a riot, but it made for good cover. You've been making good time since you left Teoa, and Combat Pangs was only a few blocks away. We're getting close. Her nostrils flared as she sniffed the air. Smell that? Garlic, onion, sizzling oil. I'm thinking chicken wings. How you're getting any of that over the smoke and the tear gas is beyond me. You're right about one thing, though. We're getting close, and that means we need to keep our guard up. He's right. Game face is on, everyone. Duncan gave you a nod of acknowledgement, then turned to face the others. Be ready to defend yourselves. I've heard stories about the go-gangers that Pang runs. The 88s, the Black Sun Boys, the Grinders. Packs of animals in leather jackets, all of them. And they like to let their knives do the talking. Chicken wings, gun show, focus. The guy that Pang has working the grill is supposed to be like some kind of kitchen wizard. He caramelizes the wings in fish sauce. That's the guy that the bus stop told me. I mean, how amazing is that? We get the rock first. If any of the kitchen staff are still alive when we're finished, then maybe we can eat. Your priorities are alien to me, but whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there. Deal. Let's get moving. She nods. Go ahead. Lead the way. And now I want chicken wings. Now, I have to go ahead and check out the karma again just to be on the safe side. Yep, all my stuff is here. Maximum for orcs, maximum for humans. Man. Part of me wants to think I should have gone as an elf. Oh well. Let's get to it. Back in the... Come on, man, hurry up! Let's leave him. Oh, God. So yeah, I've been really... Not much has been going on this week, honestly, because I've literally been, you know, gaming. I've been playing Elden Ring, getting people to help out. Like, helping out people killing Moog. That sort of thing. I'm not trying to be the next Let me solo her. I'm not him. I am not that guy. I wish. The bodies have been reduced to a bloody ruin. Their mouths were frozen open in expressions of silent terror. Your team gathered to examine the remains. These people were shot in the back. I don't see any weapons on them either. Somebody gunned them down while they were trying to run away. Bad night to go wandering. Speaking of which... Right, let's go to Pang's. We don't want to stay out here any longer than we have to. Let me just pop in the comment section. Oh, I can't wait for it either. I pre-ordered that thing when I got the cash for it. Granted, I did not know that they were going to basically, you know, they were going to have it on sale. Kind of wish I had known that. And stay where you are. And here comes the cops. The HKPF patrol stared you down, their weapons held at the ready. In the center of the pack, a man in heavy tactical armor loomed over the others. The plates of his armor were emblazoned with the regalia of Hong Kong's elite special duties unit. Crap. One of the cops cupped his hands over to his mouth and barked out a command. You! Hey you! Stop moving and put your hands up in the air! Tough words, but he sounded nervous. There are a couple of gangers trying to break into a store just around the corner. If you hurry, you can still catch them. The cop blinked confusedly, then half turned to the SDU officer at his side. Sir, should we investigate the... The SDU officer cut in. His speech was slow and languid. He sounded vaguely bored. Later, Constable. We'll catch the looters when we're done here. Look at this man's clothes, his gear. These people are armed criminals, and they're breaking curfew. You have your orders. I promise you, you don't want to do this. The big man growled into his throat mic, his amplified voice reverberating through the claustrophobic confines of the alleyway. Open fire! I'm kind of... For me, I'm using my character I beat the game with, honestly. Because I will be blunt, I'm already putting in my stuff for him. I'm not gonna... I don't want to lose any of that progress. Take out the mage. Always take out the mage. Like, I'm gonna be blunt, like, doing it with my own character is gonna be a lot easier for me, simply because I want to do it. Plus, I've already put in enough hours, and from what I'm to understand, the game actually is going to be a lot more difficult considering that there's... Well, to be blunt, there's going to be a lot of things about to go down in that. Nice. There's going to be a lot of stuff going down, and the leveling is... The damage thing is going to be a lot different compared to what it is in the base. There's going to be an item that you will increase your damage to, among other things. So it's definitely wise to make sure that you get it. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be using an older character. Well, the only character I have is really my first one. I mean, I've already done everything in the game for it anyway, so there's that. Not surprised it didn't work. Suppose I could pop Goblin up here. Nice. That's what the thing is, from what Vadi and a bunch of other people have been saying, well, Vadi mostly, he found a item that basically will allow you to, from what I'm to understand, it's basically an item that will increase the amount of damage you give and reduce the damage you receive. It's going, I think, the way of Sekiro when it comes to that. So, it's like a consumable item like the golden seeds, as well as the also like there's also an item that will help you out when it comes to boosting up your ability with your ashes. So it's kind of wise to basically, you know, start following and do that. I'm starting to get hungry. Nice. Alright, Duncan, time to move up. Man, didn't work. Ha! That poor sod is not gonna last. Let's heal up the boss. But yeah, like, a lot also happened this week. I've been looking to get into a psychiatrist. Well, to make a long story short, I got having to deal with that. Though, thankfully, my therapist was nice enough to give me the name of a psychiatrist, so possibly I might be able to get help once we, you know, actually set up the appointment. I know it's really not something I'd want to discuss, but I just want to, like, make it known that I am getting help. Desperately, too. After that fiasco last week, I was just not in the mood. I think that might have also affected my performance when it came to streaming. Maybe that was it. Like, it was just telling me not to do it. I mean, not to stream that week. Got him! More like I desperately need it. The therapy's good and all, but the thing is, I literally felt messed up after the decline. I could appeal it, I just had to wait until I got the letter. Without warning, the cracked and bloody comlink that you pulled off of the body of the SDU officer cracked to life. A second later, a cold voice poured through the device's speaker. Constables, this is Crate. It's her. The cop on all the newscasts with the APB on us went live. She set up the ambush that killed Carter and fucked up our lives. I want all units to move into position and sound off. You will then hold action until I say otherwise. We will put this riot down and restore the city to order. This riot is a response to the police brutality in Quilon City, Sangshan. Something tells me that Crate's plan to restore order isn't going to be gentle. We want to be out here when the call comes in. Don't need to tell me twice. Come on, everybody, let's keep moving. Right on your heels, Sangshan. Pang's bar should be just around the corner. Oh boy. This block was hit harder by the riots than the others you've been through. The air has been churned into a noxious slurry of soot, ash, and tear gas. It was stomach churning beyond foul. Through the haze, you could see a patrol squad of HKPF constables facing off against a man and a woman in shabby winter coats. The man was doubled over coughing, clutching a loaf of bread in one hand and a cheap pocket knife in the other. The woman was holding a small crowbar, frozen like a deer in the headlights. Both were clearly terrified. A half-dozen laser dots played over their bodies, protected projected from their sights at their constable's weapons. Drop your weapons! Get on your knees! Do it now! The knife hit the ground, clattering to the rest of the asphalt. Please! Our house burned down in the riots. We just need water and food. We aren't looters. We just needed to eat. Isabel leaned over to whisper into your ear. The cops can't see us through the smoke. They don't know we're here. If we give them a wide berth, we could probably slip past undetected. Those two, though, well, they'll be screwed. Personally, I prefer we intervene. It's your call. The SDU sergeant's voice boomed speakers in his tactical armor. On your knees! This is your last warning! Hey, leave them alone! The constables wheeled at the sound of your voice, but you were faster than they were. You caught them flat-footed. Good. We managed to get those guys out of there. Okay. Since I know for a fact I can't really do much due to the armor, due to them having the ability of, you know, blocking my moves. Well, not blocking my moves. It's more like I can't lob a grenade into them because they literally have a... They'll toss it. I can't let that happen. What I can do, however, is get the grenadiers. Now we got a spirit. I can do this. So yeah, literally I have been trying to get the help I've been desperately needed. Problem is I gotta set it all up and stuff, and there's a waiting list with a psychiatrist. You know, getting to that psychiatrist is gonna be the hard part. But then again, I could also probably look into more. I know my uncle's also gonna help as well. Might set up an appointment with the same doctor I got. I hope that YouTube processes this stream well. As soon as I say that, what the hell? Let's wrap up this fight. 2 down. 3 down. Oh crap, I completely forgot about that grenadier. Yes, crit him. And let's go over here. Nice. Got hit 1 hit at least. But yeah, like I am glad I'm finally glad I'm starting to get the help that I need. I mean, I desperately need the meds. After what happened, you don't understand. I was spiraling. It was not pretty. Those must be the hostiles. Oh. Friend resident. The civilians blink up at you. Their faces ashen. The man still hugs a stolen loaf of bread. In his terror, he crushes it into an hourglass shape. We're alive. Oh, thank God we're still alive. We've seen the police do brutal things here before, but nothing like this. They were gonna kill us. Kill us over 3 millions worth of bread. Listen to me, the cops are locking this entire area down. You need to get out of here and off of the street. You have to tell us twice. Come on, love. Let's find a place to hide until this blows over. You actually get an achievement for helping these two out. Unfortunately, I got it the last week, but I wasn't able to... They didn't show. I'm sorry. The police calmly crackled to life again. Great. All teams, ready your weapons and prepare for my mark. Do not, I repeat, do not move it before you are instructed to. Anyone who fails to obey this command will answer to me. Await my instructions. Crate out. That does not sound good. Resident. A group of middle-aged people in shabby clothing were gathered in the street, huddled together and clutching their possessions. They were wide-eyed, staring, some obviously in shock. The riots had taken their toll. The man with the patchy beard, the leader of the group by the looks of things, leaned forward, his eyes shifting from one member of the congregation to the next. His voice was low and urgent, his tone serious. Look, we can't stay here. Let's gather whatever we can carry, go to the barricades at the edge of town, and show the cops our IDs. Once we can prove that we live here and that we're unarmed, they'll let us through. That's the plan. If you want to run, go the way that I came, toward Hayoi. You'll be safe there. Hayoi? The place is owned by criminals. We look like a bunch of killers to you? No, man. We need to go to the Central District, or Victoria Harbor, maybe. Someplace corporate controlled. There are no riots. There are no dangerous people. We'll be safe. You honestly think that the cops at the barricades will let you through to the rich part of the island? It's worth a shot. Better than hanging around here and waiting to be robbed or shot or kicked to death. I don't like the HKP up any more than anybody else, but I'll take my chances with them over the riders any day. You can't trust the police. If you go to them, you're gonna regret it. They're cops. I like our odds better with them than I do with the people out here on the streets. He turned his head toward the others. If you need anything from your homes, clothes, heirlooms, valuables, go get them and be quick about it. We'll meet up back here in 10 minutes, and then we'll be heading for the barricade. We're getting out of this death trap. Well, I warned them. And there's combat pangs, but I think I'll save it for today. If you guys like what you all saw, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell icon to stay notified.